The Amerindian People's Association held a 3-day Women and Youth Capacity Building Workshop in Santa Rosa, Moruco, Region 1 in April 2022. The workshop was part of a much wider effort by the APA, with assistance from the European Union, to create awareness of local social issues and build capacity amongst Indigenous women and youth across Regions 1, 7, and 8. During the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was found that lockdowns and restrictions were contributing to the worsening of social ills already present in communities and households. In response, the European Union approached the Amerindian People's Association for a partnership that would address this.
The EU reached out to the APA and said, here we have this opportunity, how can you utilize it? We then made the feedback to them in the form of a proposal. This is what we can do. And we stuck in youth because they are young women who are youths as well.
For me, I think what should happen in our health sector is that, we need to have more of these educational talks. At home, parents would be so shy to talk about sex and sex education, and children would have to learn from the outside.
I am 19 years old and I have an 8-month-old child, right? But when I got pregnant, I wasn't ready. I am sure I wasn't ready. But from my religious background, it was wrong for me to, do abortion or something like that. From the time I conceived, I was like, I have to bring up this child and I have to make myself ready. For when this child is born, I must be able to grow my child properly. It is not easy to grow a child. We need help from the older persons because they have more experience. I don't have much experience, but certain things that I went through, I don't want my child to go through the same thing. So instead of like these trauma making me, a bad person, it makes me overprotective for my child. I don't want him to be, go through something that I had to face. And then I don't have a open relationship with my parents. I hid a lot of things from them. I don't want my child to do that. I want him to be open with me. When we're ready to talk, he must be able to tell me certain things. I must be the first person he can come to when something happens or when he doesn't know what to do.
But we also wanted to see from the standpoint of the male youth as well.
And if the father is not there with her, who would help this person? The grandmother, the uncle, aunt? It will be worth for a time, but afterward, what would happen? Because they will abuse her, tell her, oh, you never know you're going to be pregnant, and you best go to the father. And that is not right. And we need our young ones to be more educated on teenage pregnancy and sex.
For us, it's a case where you can't only have women separate. At some point, you got to bring in males in the discussion and dialogue for them to hear and learn.
Day 2 of the workshop continued with elders, youth, women, and men learning and sharing in an open environment. Teenage pregnancy, consent, healthy relationships between men and women, and even parent-child relationships were some of the topics that dominated the day. The facilitator helped to weave these conversations in such a way that they weren't only about interpersonal relationships, but helped to show how these issues affect the wider community. Towards the end of the day, participants were asked to share their vision of what their community might look like if there was greater equality between men and women. They used poetry, song, and other art forms to share that vision. The open and very honest conversations were educating and entertaining for all.